Good evening, everyone. This is Vasu Deshpande from Easylib Software Private Limited on the evening of 19th July 2024. Today, you might all have read the news that Microsoft had a technical glitch. Thousands of flights are affected. So many other operations are affected. Many of us are not able to access Microsoft Teams, emails, and so on. So the message is simple. This can happen to any organization anytime, and it's important that we are all better prepared to handle any of these casualties and the issues that may occur to our network systems or the computers. 1 month back, exactly about a month back, we had an issue at our Easylib office wherein our servers were impacted, and thanks to all of you who cooperated during that period to help us by supporting us during that period. So I thought I will take a few minutes and then give you an update of what happened and how we got through that scenario. Here is the PowerPoint presentation of the same here. So let me share my screen. So this is the news about Microsoft. What you are seeing, so many airlines affected, stock market is affected, many banks are affected, transactions are affected, and it's happening at the global level. Mega outage is called. However, ours is a smaller organization, but we too had an issue. And here is the presentation about how we got through of that. And I thought I will record this and then share with you all as a note of appreciation for all of you who stayed with us during that crisis and supported. Okay, so let's begin. One night of June 2024, about a month back, our data center got affected. The system was up and running. The systems were all up and running on the previous night at around 10:30 when we checked. However, when we checked in the morning at 6:30 next day, some of the servers were not accessible. The files were not accessible. We could just not read them. So we saw what has happened. Our live server was affected. The real-time backup done through the RAID configuration was affected. And the backup taken on a different server was also affected. So none of that could be accessible. That was a pretty scary scenario for all of us. We also did more research. We have total 4 levels of backup. The first level backup is that in the main server, there are 2 hard disks. If in the casualty, in the scenario of one server's hard disk getting affected, the second hard disk in the same server should pick it up. So we had protected ourselves on the hardware failure. However, when the data in the primary hard disk got corrupted, the bad data got written into the second hard disk also, corrupting that as well. So hard disk physically was good. However, the data was incorrect. And we had a backup on the second server. However, on the same network, that was also affected. But our third level of backup was at iDrive and Google Enterprise. So those are totally independent of this network, and it was safe. So what we did, the day one of disaster, we sent out a message to all the customers saying that our systems would be down for a couple of days, for about 2 days. So we explained to the customer that there is a problem and systems would not be accessible for 2 days and the library operations would be impacted. So not all customers were impacted, by the way. So only a certain set of customers were impacted. So to those all customers, we sent the information. And I would really like to thank you, all of you, for understanding that and letting us work to fix that issue. So first thing that we did was, whichever servers were got affected, we totally isolated from the rest of the computers so that the remaining computers will be safe. Then we engaged the disaster recovery experts to help us How do we bring everything back in good shape without much additional issues? So one thing that we did was we procured all new servers. Total 9 new servers we invested on, about approximately 20 lakh rupees, from Netigrity, NextGen, Cloudbox, US Cloud, and many other players. So total now 10 servers are there. Out of them, 9 are production servers in different places. For the entire team, we procured the new laptops so that all the new laptops will be not at all affected by the issue that we had. Next 4 days, our team literally stayed in office. They worked throughout the next 4 days, often sleeping in office, taking only a few hours of having only a few hours of sleep in the night. So our team continuously worked, took the new server, deployed SQL server, deployed Windows operating system. Of course, it was there. Did the configuration, did the SQL server, did the additional programming components, deployed the application. Then we started restoring the backups from the last backup, either at iDrive or the Google Enterprise server, onto the new servers. On the day one of the disaster, within the end of the day, first day, we had one application up and running. Then on the second day, we continued the restores. So one at a time, one server at a time, the entire team worked on restoring all the customers' data onto the new servers. So within next 72 hours, whole team worked and made sure that all the systems were up. However, we had one issue. For many customers who were affected, there was a loss of 1 day data. Why? Because our backups were taken in the evening. And when that particular backup was affected, we had to restore the previous night's backup. That means 1 day data loss was there. Okay. And over the next 2 days, when the entire thing was refreshed, restored, 98% of our customers were up and running by Monday morning, 9 a.m., when the workday began. So that was day two, day 1, 2, 3, 4. Our team worked, everything was up and running. So the summary of the recovery: all customers' SQL was recovered. Yes, 100%. None of our customers had the total data loss. And second, we all of you now have Easylib 6.48 cloud version release 54, which is the latest version of the June 2024. That means the software is much more advanced than what you had earlier. Usually, we would have charged a certain fee, anywhere between 20,000 rupees to 1 lakh rupee. But in this case, we upgraded all of you without charging any fee, because that's what we thought is the right thing to do. Then only one issue remained. That was, or one of the issues that remained was database mismatch. Many of you had the database of design of 2021-22. However, the software is of 2024 June. So some of the tables were missing, some of the stored procedures were missing, columns were missing. So in some places, customers face the difficulty in a few screens. So what we did to proactively, we tried to find those issues and fix them. And when we could not do proactively, we relied on you to tell us the problem, and our team worked on making sure that those issues are fixed. And before handing over the system to you, we made sure that the basic systems, transactions like login, logout, OPAC search, issue, return, renewal, were all taken care. And now, for some customers, we do have the images and ebooks are to be newly uploaded again, because the data that we have and the matching that need to be redone. That is why we requested all of you to give us the new images so that we could upload that again. The metadata already exists, but the actual images, we request you to share it again, and they will be uploaded into the servers. And happy to state, within 4 days, including the 2 days in the weekend, on Monday morning, business was usual for most of the libraries. So What have we learned out of this? What is the path forward? Right? So, one thing that we have done is that now to secure our data center better, to make sure that our data center is more reliable, you don't face these issues, and it is much better protected. We have now partnered with one company by Iron Mountain. Iron Mountain is a large data center facility where one small image of the data center racks you are seeing over here. All our 10 servers are kept on those data centers. So that's at Bangalore. We do spend a lot of money on that. We have partnered with them, committed for spending, making sure that our servers, that means your data, is protected better than previous times, so that there should not be any issues like this. Second, already we had been taking the backups, and those backups were really of help, right? So now we have made sure that those backup procedures still continue. Now we have implemented even the fifth level of backup. The first level of backup is RAID configuration. In the same machine there are two hard disks. The second level of backup is another backup on another server, right? But though within the network. Third level of backup is iDrive. Fourth level of backup is Google Enterprise, and then we have implemented another disconnected, totally independent level of backup also over here. So that way your data is safer in case of any disasters or issues, if at all they happen. You can imagine when Microsoft could have the downtime, right? You can imagine pretty much everybody is vulnerable over here. Every organization is vulnerable, and it's required that we protect ourselves, we protect our systems, we protect our data, which is your data, and the source code, and so many things. Now we have also implemented new tools, for example New Relic, that gives us the real time backup of what's happening, how are our servers performing, what is the load on them, are they having 100% reliability, and so on. In a minute I'm going to show you those screens as well. So we have implemented, or wherever we had already implemented, we strengthen those implementations. Next, one more thing, we have observed that some customers or large customers have a heavy usage. We have a few of the engineering colleges with about 2,000, 4,000, 5,000 students logging in over here. At that time, it is very difficult to have them hosted on the shared server. Earlier, to give you the least cost of ownership, to make sure that you are spending very little, we used to host them onto the shared servers. But when we looked at the load, we saw that the load was much higher for those colleges. So now we are offering ability to host on a dedicated server. That dedicated server will again be maintained by us, procured by us, maintained by us, but that server will have only your data. And as long as it can support your load, you can load as much as data that you want in that. Okay, and if at all, even that also goes out of space or have more load, then we'll come back to you saying that okay, you need to even upgrade that particular server. But that option now we are providing to some of the colleges who are ready to have this shared dedicated server and also ready to invest the money in that, which will usually cost about anywhere between about a lakh, I would say, per year for a dedicated server, which will ensure that only your installation is on that server, no other customers. And the same procedure of multiple level backups, the monitoring, the tools to make sure that everything is going smooth, all of them will be implemented, but that will result in a 1 lakh rupee per year, in addition to what you are paying as the cloud charges to maintain a separate server for you alone. And the next item we have done is we have now implemented something called a mock disaster recovery exercise. Means if at all one of our server is down, how much time would we take? Last time when it happened in June, it took 2 days, right? It took 2 days. So when 48 hours we could, you would have to wait. Now we are trying to reduce it to 8 hours. 8 hours. Within 8 hours, how can we get the entire system which is down into a new server so that you will lose less than 1 day of working hours, right? So that's our goal. And then we have also engaged with the external people who will come visit our office more frequently to check and validate whether are we taking the backup properly or not. How safe are our data centers? How secure are our places? All of those are being reviewed to make sure that everything is thoroughly maintained. So these are some of the learnings that we have got. Our commitment to you is always superior product. That means the Easylib product should be superior, rock solid product. It should be the best in the industry. That's our first commitment. Second commitment is reliable service. That includes making sure that the servers are up and running all the time. That includes making sure that we look at your tickets. We resolve the tickets on time. We help you run your library operations smooth. And the third one is the continuous innovation, wherein we come up with a newer and newer feature for your library to make sure that your library stands apart, and then you are able to get A plus and A double plus in external audits like NAC, NBA, and so on. That's our commitment. And I would like to thank all of you for bearing this tough time of 4 days, wherein we totally reinvented ourselves, making sure that all the servers are in a better place over here. And those of you who are already our customers, thank you so much. And those of you who are not our customers, we welcome you to become our customers. You are going to be safe, you are going to get a superior product, you are going to get a reliable service, and you are going to get the continuation innovation that we are committing to. And please feel free to call any of us. This is my number. Our team member Sidhu's number is also over here. And those of you who are our customers, when you have issues, feel free to open a ticket. And if the tickets are to be not addressed on time and you need to escalate, feel free to call those phone numbers. However, first open a ticket. And now let me just share a couple of the screens that's related to the issue that we are seeing here, that is related to the Microsoft, massive worldwide Microsoft outage, flights, markets, stock exchange down. Imagine the amount of the havoc it has created. So this is a stark reminder that every company is vulnerable, every data center is vulnerable. So that is why at Easylib, we are trying to make sure that we are doing what is in our control to make sure that your data is safe. If at all the disaster strikes, we are able to recover faster. And the new relic that I was talking about, which will give us the real-time maintenance, is over here. So you have got total 9 servers where your data is existing, and this is the success rate of here. If you see, out of the 9 servers, 6 servers have 100% availability, and Tapti is 98%, Brahmaputra is 94%, Alaknanda is 92%. Now I have a request to you. The servers have been sized based on what you have told us. How many students have, how many books you have got, how much is the transaction, how much is the library staff, and you have got, and so on. And my humble request to you, if at all those numbers have changed, if you have got more admission of the students, if you have hired more library staff, please do not share the IDs. Let us know. I know it will cost you money because you need to buy one more user license of Easylib, but it will make sure that you are able to get a better service. And our goal is to make sure that each and every server has 100% availability, so that Easylib system is always accessible over here. And anytime you want to go, simply click esplDemo.easylib.net. It will open the site over here. So now we have also moved all of you to this TPS. Yeah, so you will get the access to this site, and it is always reliable. So again, my request, feel free to call us anytime, write email anytime, and when your library staff number increases or the student increases, please procure additional licenses, because based on what you tell, we are sizing those servers, right? And if you want to learn more about Easylib and look at more videos that are created, we welcome you to go to Easylib Demo YouTube channel. Over here, there are hundreds of videos over here. There are total 208 videos on different topics, on circulation, opaque, kiosk, display management, cataloging, periodical, circulation. So many videos are there. And many times we do conduct these live webinars. Today we had a webinar or the demo in Kannada language only on the cataloging module alone. So I request all of you to join these and learn more about Easylib software and become our customer. If you're already not the one customer, and those of you who are our customers, we request you to refer more and more so that we could be of more help to you all. Thank you so much. Have a great day, great weekend ahead. Thank you. Thank you so much.